Right, Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea. Now, looking at my segment on Chelsea, now Chelsea are a interesting team because Chelsea are going to be one of those teams this year that they're either going to smash it or they're going to drop off. Now, I I'd like to think that Chelsea could be quite good this year, and mainly because I like the signings they made. Like, I think Morgan Rogers is a top signing. I think he's going to be a top player. I think he's going to really play well off Cole Palmer. Be interesting to see what the that's looking like a little bit actually. Um, I really like some of their players. So rare price wise, I'm just going to go off instant price. I know it's a little bit of play, so don't worry, I will take into account. But it's £106 for João Pedro. Don't get me wrong, I thought João Pedro looked quite tasty in pre-season, um, which is going to be a positive. Wasn't 100% convinced on Palestra, if I'm being brutally honest. He'll be a bench player. Quenda, what his name is, the new youngster. I think Morgan Rogers is going to play him for 10. I'm struggling to work out where he's going to put Palmer in this situation because you either have Morgan in a 10 or you have Palmer in a 10. You don't usually have both. So I don't know how. I'm assuming Enzo's going to go. He apparently had a poor debut yesterday. Mike Penders, is it who's the starting goalkeeper now? Is it going to be Sam? Surely it's going to be Mike Penders if he's come in. Um, Prices aren't as bad as first thought. I mean, I'll have a look, but I don't know. I think it's quite an expensive stat for what Chelsea is still at the minute. We'll go and have a look at their team. So this is how. Okay, so they've got Morgan Rogers coming off the left now. Tofton is done. Is the expert for Chelsea, so hopefully he's come up with some good analysis for us. So he reckons that it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. That kind of makes sense because that's a Xabi Alonso type formation. I actually thought he would play something even more different, maybe a 3-5-2 or 4-4-5-1 maybe. But 3-5-2, 4-2-3-1 makes sense to be honest. And I think it's actually the most successful formation. I think it's the formation that allows the most stability and allows players to get forward in the attack. You've noticed teams with fire back, other than City tried it, no one else has really actually played it very well. So I'm actually glad he's not gone to a three back and a four back's really sensible. But looking at the players um, they've got Rob Sanchez, they've got Reece James nailed on. Reece James will be, I'm assuming, nailed on set piece taker again. Um, Lacroix should start. Let's just spent £60 million on him, so Lacroix should start. Levi Colwill should start. I think he's a solid centre half. He just needs to stay fit and not get injured. Palestra, jury's out. Let's give him some time. Enzo Fernandez, I think, will start the season. Do I think he'll be there at the end? Don't know. I'm unconvinced by Enzo Fernandez. Oh, I don't think Rob Sanchez can go well. I can't believe them. But it's only got. You have Ramsdale Southampton if you want. He can't be worse than Rob Sanchez. Uh, we're trying to get rid of him. Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, pretty much certain on unless something happens in here. I know they bought in Barco. I know you bought in some extra players, but I don't think a lot of them are going to have instant impact on the starting lineup. Like Palestra started here, but that Trevario, what his name might go in here. Um, Esteval on the right, 100%. I think. Let's hope they can get the best out of Esteval this year. Who's Chelsea manager again this year? Why have my brain's gone blank? George, um, what's his name? Xabi Alonso. Why did my brains go blank? Of course I knew it was Xabi Alonso. Um, Cole Palmer in a 10, more that is disgusting, really. That's this I mean, if you look at this front four, add in Danny Welbeck, because I think Danny Welbeck might go as one of the I can't believe I'm saying this about Chelsea, might go as one of the most underrated signings of the window. Because Danny Welbeck's got 10, 15, maybe 20 goals in him in a decent team. So still at his age. So I think it's a really good signing. Um yeah, I really like this team. I think we're going to see a better Chelsea. I definitely think we're going to see a top four of the league, Chelsea. I don't think we're going to see them win. I just think Arsenal are too strong. But you never know. Like injuries could occur. I do like the sign Morgan Rogers. I think it's really a positive signing. So yeah, I do like what I see from Chelsea this year from for a change. Now, rumours about signings coming in. I mean, let's be honest, Chelsea are linked with everyone under the sun. I could probably go through 101 names. I don't really think Lewis Skelly and Zubamendi are the answers. Zubamendi might be in defensive midfield role if Enzo goes, but I just think about the goal threat that Enzo Fernandez offers going forward from that midfield. You've got Caicedo as that proper holding midfielder. You don't need another proper holding midfielder. You need almost like a box to box midfielder, someone in the shape of Enzo. So I put Enzo in with like a Valverde, in with someone like him. I mean for Arsenal now, Bruno Guimaraes is that box to box player, and he's really going to give them that attacking threat. You saw that in the World Cup of Brazil. Even though they didn't have a good World Cup, you saw the intent that Bruno Guimaraes had to get forward. I think that could be crucial for Arsenal. Um, you see it. I mean, Man United have bought Andre Santos for Chelsea really weirdly. I can't think who their other one is. They bought another one, and I think he will also be. I just think you don't want to go down two defensive routes. So I hope they don't bring Zubamendi. So I don't think it's the right signing. Looking at departures, I mean, to be fair, defenders have got to be going. Defenders and Liam Delap and Nicholas Jackson are probably the players to move on now. I think. I just think they're so poor. Like in sense that not poor, but there's so many of them. You've got to get rid of some. So, for example, Badia Shield, get rid. Achimpong, I want to get rid of. He's so young. I'd actually just send him on loan. One season. Ada Tosin's got to go. Nowhere near at it. Liam Delap, nowhere near at it. Nicholas Jackson, not a bad striker, but doesn't suit Chelsea. And I think João Pedro is a better forward, and he won't want to be back up. So, not a chance. And if Pedro Neto goes for 60 million to Saudi, take it and run with it. Don't get rid of Malo Gusto. I quite like Malo Gusto. I think he goes a little bit underrated. I quite like him. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of offloading extra players for Chelsea. Be interesting to see where they go though. Um, Chelsea this name, Georgie, so Enzo is going to go, and Man City want him. I kind of get that Maresca there. Maresca loved Enzo Fernandez. Used to be his like big stuff, and Enzo did get the best out of Enzo, so I think it could be a good move for both parties. Chelsea then have loads of money to reinvest. Might not be a bad option. And then Pedro Neto's going to go potentially for a massive fee. So it sounds like he's a great person type. So it's a strange one, but I also get it because if Morgan Rogers and they push Esteval through, because Esteval is long term better than Pedro Neto, I get it. Um, I do get it. I don't rate Gerald Hatto. I don't think he should start. Actually, let's have a look at the predicted lineups. Well, I don't have them out yet. That's annoying. They usually have a predicted lineup, but there's a few out. And also for finals, so it will definitely be then Cole Will and Lacroix, which is good for Lacroix because I think after that friendly, he probably needs a chance to redeem himself. So looking at their team, then this is where Chelsea's really difficult because I really like Chelsea stack. However, this would be my issue right now. Robert Sanchez is £73. No, 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 no. If you're going for a mixed stack, do not pick Robert Sanchez. Please do not pick Robert Sanchez. He's always got a mistake in him, and that will lead to negative. Hey, look, negative there. Like, oh, maybe I'll try no, negative there. Like, some goalkeepers don't make him for a season. Rob Sanchez makes him so regularly. I don't think he's worth 70 quid. And I'm not convinced that he'll stay and go with Penders on the back burner from Strasbourg. I don't know. I think actually that's a risky one. So obviously I would start with Robert Sanchez in goal, but I think Mike Penders might be a long term solution. I don't even know if they're both either of them long term solutions. Picking your defender, well, if we're being brutally honest, you probably want to go Levi Colwill or Reece James. Now Reece James is the better option. However, he is the set piece taker, but he gets injured a lot. So that's your only worry with Reece James. So it may be worth picking up someone like a Malo Gusto for a tenner because if he gets injured and Reece James goes to midfield, you know Malo Gusto is going to start. So that may be worth it. So this is the problem with Chelsea stat. It's great, but you almost need a lot of backups because the best players are a bit injury prone. Until you come to this position, now, if you are going to go down Chelsea stat, you know you're going to have to spend money on it. Now, for me, you could pick, like, let's leave Enzo out of it because Enzo's probably going to leave. I would probably be looking at Morgan Rogers, Cole Palmer, and Caicedo as the three options there. Like, they're three good options. Yeah, I would go with one of those, two of those three potentially. Like Caicedo does average really good scores, although I say that there's a lot of fifties in there. I would definitely go Morgan Rogers. I think that's way better value than Cole Palmer. But if you had to pick between the two, and as he is £75, I'd probably just spend the extra 20 quid and go Cole Palmer because you do know Cole Palmer's going to be Chelsea's main player. They love Cole Palmer, Chelsea. Yeah, he will not. I actually think maybe Xabi Alonso might be good for him. And then I think there's no other option here than to go João Pedro. I do think Esteval's pretty good at £19 a set, but his output sometimes lacks a little bit. So for me, it'd have to be João Pedro. You could bring Danny Welbeck in as a backup, but I would really stick to either João Pedro or Esteval for those looking at those prices and what you're going to get. So yeah, so my five, if I was to pick and I had to go and pick five, it would be Rob Sanchez in goal to start with. Hesitation on that. Defender would be Reece James, 100% with set pieces. I'm picking two midfielders. I'm going Morgan Rogers and Cole Palmer, and then I'm going João Pedro. Now, personally, I wouldn't pick a five stack. I'd actually pick a three out. And if you go to go the mixed stack, I would pick probably three out of the five. I'd definitely avoid the goalkeeper, and I'd probably avoid the defence just because of Reece James's injury history. But he's still a great option. But the front three, 100% I'll go with. They're going to be so strong this year. I can't imagine them to score poorly for very. If they do, it won't be for very many weeks. It'll be one odd game. I think Chelsea will be a good arena team rather than a pro team because in the arena, when they score well, Chelsea, they score really well. So for me, that's a big plus. Um, yeah, so that's my opinion on Chelsea, and I think that's where I would go with my Chelsea team.